Hello again, whiskey friends. Back here in the Whiskey Lounge doing another review for you. Today we're doing a pretty different review, relatively new to the whiskey world, and it's a name called Found North. If you guys have not found this or heard of this, stick around because you're going to want to learn about it. So, without further ado, let's kick off the show and we'll get started. Hey, welcome back, guys. Today we're jumping into something a little bit different. We're going to be doing some Found North. This is the single barrel cask strength rye that is finished in cognac. So let me give you the stats on this. This is pretty cool. This is a 19-year-old blend of a 19-year-old rye, a 12-year-old rye. These are all Canadian ryes, and then a 21-year-old corn whiskey. So that's a light whiskey. All blended together, comes in at 116.4 proof, so cask strength rye finished in cognac. If you've never had a Canadian rye, you're missing out, especially if you like rye. This one is particularly well blended because it gives all of those really, really cool rye notes that you get with spearmint and wintergreen and more floral notes, along with all of those sweet, sweet corn notes. So without further ado, let's jump into this one and get it on those. Cheers to you guys. Man, that color is amazing. Really, really dark. Amber, copper. So let's get on the nose. Oh my gosh, this is so syrupy sweet. I cannot tell you. That's just the first thing. It's almost like maple syrup. Then you get into it and you get behind that sweetness and you get the spearmint that's there behind it and some floral notes that are coming off of the rye. Oh, man. And then you get a little bit of oak, but it's a really super sweet oak, even at that, once you get into it. Man, it's just like a juicy fruit syrup. It's so sweet on the nose. It's really, really good. That cognac comes out a little bit with the fruit notes that I'm getting. Let's go in for a taste, man. Cheers. So right up front, all of that corn sweetness comes punching through. And man, does it have a hug. It's going down all the way down here. Man, it is not hot in the sense of like it's hot to drink, but just like really, really warm all the way down your throat. So lots of Kentucky hug, even though it's Canadian. I guess we'll call it Canadian hug if they do hug people up there. I'm sure that they do. But again, sweetness up front, even back on the nose. The spearmint comes out more after tasting. I want to go in for a little drink here, and then we'll jump into the mid palate. Wowza. What a whiskey. Oh my gosh. It's just the middle of the palate just coats. I mean, I wish you guys could see my glass, but it is just coating that all over the glass. It's very viscous. You get more of those fruit notes coming out mid palate and then moving into the spearmint towards the back of the palate, and then that really nice hug and finish. My goodness, that's long. Let's go into the finish. Let's talk about that. Let's get another sip. So let me give you a breakdown of the transition. So palate front, real sweet, syrupy, sweet on the nose, really delightful from all of that corn, light whiskey. Mid palate, more of the spearmint and fruit notes come out of the cognac and the rye spice. And then the finish is just super uber long of just, again, all of those same flavors over again. But mostly the rye spice is what lingers the longest. And it goes all the way from the top of your throat all the way down to your sternum. This is really interesting experience, but a very great experience. If you like sweet up front and you like something with a rye punch to it, you need to check this guys out. They're actually based in Massachusetts, I believe, but they are sourcing Canadian whiskey, Canadian rye whiskey, and light whiskey, and then blending it all together for single barrels. And they have their own batches. You can check them out. And I think you can buy online from them, from their website, if you check that out at foundnorth.com. Just overall, great experience. These guys are great blenders. If you hadn't seen these before, make sure you check them out. I hadn't heard about them until about last year, and I think it was batch maybe 3 when they came out, 2 or 3. They came out with their own stuff, and then they started doing single barrels. Mash and Journey did a single barrel pick of this. This one I found on Sealbox. Let's break down the score of this, and then we'll wrap it up, okay? Found North score on this is 85 for the flavor, 80 for the experience, 90 for the value, a total of 83. Absolutely recommend this. It's very good. I think that the thing that stands out the most for me is the age statement and the value of what it costs. So you're looking at $120, $130 for, a 19-year-old rye, and then you get a 21-year-old corn on top of it. I mean, you're getting some seriously high age-stated whiskey for a very good price. Plus, you're getting a finish on it on top of it. So I think that's the thing that makes this stand out, is that cognac really comes through just enough to be in the mix of all of that sweetness from the corn and the fruitiness from the cognac, and then the rye spice with the spearmint. So going back overall, really top-notch whiskey. If you guys hadn't found these guys, check them out. Found North Whiskey Company. They're based out of Massachusetts, but are sourcing Canadian whiskey. Go check them out. Thanks again, guys, for hanging out with me and enjoying a pour. And we'll see you guys next time, and we appreciate all the support. Thanks, guys.
Jeff, just be friends with me. But you have these whiskey friends, and you say hello again. Oh, Jeffrey, you should just be friends with me. But you have these whiskey friends, and you say